And look, we talk about, Jason Garrett not being aggressive in overtime, right? And now you see at the end of regulation here with the game on the line, Mike, Sean McVay decides to go for it on 4th and 1 when he could have given it back with the Seahawks plenty of time to run things out.
Yeah, and I think Sean is being modest. You've seen some reports that he had to be talked into it by his players when Pete Carroll called timeout. I communicated with Jared Goff earlier today, and he said, nah, Coach wanted to do it. No lobbying required. And, Jared Goff played a game in 2015 at Washington when he was at Cal. They went for it on 4th down to try to clinch the game. He lowered his throwing shoulder into a couple of players to pull out that game. And same city, different stadium.
Yeah.
I wonder why teams don't sneak sometimes, because it is a very effective play when it's especially less than a yard. This was obviously the right call, and congratulations to Sean for taking the risk, because he would have been getting a lot of grief if it hadn't paid off.
Look, I think it was the right call, but I also think it was a tremendous compliment to Russell Wilson and what Russell Wilson's been able to do in end-game scenarios right there. And McVay just said quite simply, we're going to end this game in the hands of Jared Goff, and we're not going to have this game settled in the hands of Russell Wilson. He took that decision away, and I thought it was the right call, and obviously, needing a yard and getting a yard, they got it done.
But again,
go ahead.
Talking about belief again, did that mean he did not believe in his defense? And we talked so much about this unit. Absolutely it did. But we talked so much about this unit coming into the year with the signings that they made and the trades that they made. And now it is not performing up to that level. They've given up 31 in each of the last 2 games. And I think this reflects to some degree how important Aqib Talib is to this unit. Because now you look at it, Marcus Peters is having a few struggles out there right now, having to hold up, particularly as teams max protect, and he has to face double moves out there. So from my standpoint, that's the Achilles heel with this offense or with this team is defensively, can it hold up?
Well, I think Peters is trying to play through pain, to his credit. But, yes, Talib is hugely important. And let's remember, they got Sue, Peters, and Talib to great fanfare, but they got rid of Alec Ogletree, who was a key part of that linebacking core. Listen, I kind of feel like with Aaron Donald and Michael Brockers and Sue, they're going to find a way to create enough havoc when it matters. But I also know that Sean believes rightfully that he'll just outscore people in the meantime.
Yeah, but I'll just say this. You can say that, Mike, but all it takes is one bad offensive performance in a postseason game, and you're out, which happened last year.
And special teams,
Exactly, and you're out. So I think the defense has to play better, because I don't think this club is simply going to win in terms of a championship by outscoring people.
They didn't defend the run better. I mean, Aqib Talib's one thing, but
Chris Carson got loose a little bit.
116, and then Mike Davis had 68, so that's something that's got to be remedied here as well for that Rams defense.